Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're all okay. If you're there, do pop in and say hello. I have got a cute little box to go on with today. So here's today's project. It's a teensy tiny little box, and inside it's got a Yankee candle, which just fits in there quite nicely. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but not much. And then it just closes back up again. Hi Colleen, I hope you're okay. Hope you're having a good weekend. Just turning the sound down on my iPad. I'm talking and I can hear me talk as well. So yeah, it's a teeny tiny little box. It's only 5.5 centimeters high, which is 2.25 inches. And I've decorated it with some of the lovely glimmer paper that's in the mini catalogue. And I've also got the Snowflake Splenda suite decorating the rest of the box as well. This one here I've done in seafoam, soft seafoam cardstock. I thought it was quite nice with a lighter colour. I'm going to use a different sheet of, it's from the same DSP pack, but this is the sheet I'm going to use for the live. And so I'm going to be popping that in with balmy blue instead. And then I do have the shimmer paper still. So like I said, the DSP and the shimmer paper is from the winter catalogue. Hi Jeanette, I hope you're okay. Hello Audrey. Oh, well, I'm glad you're surviving. You've had a fun time recently, haven't you? Hiya Cindy, hope you're okay. So yeah, I had these two little candles. Karen sent me a little goodie box a few weeks ago. That's Karen Tilley, and she sent me these little candles, and they were yellow and orange because they were in the box of sunshine box, and they've been sitting on the corner of my desk, and I thought I must make something to pop them in. So that one there is daisy and buttercups, and this one here is exotic fruits. I'm quite tempted to try the exotic fruits. Yeah, they just fit in there like that. Right, so I'll get showing you how to do it. Hi Norma, I hope you're okay. Hi Jeanette. 3 a.m. and 22 degrees. And Jean, hi from Wisconsin. Hi Karen, I was just talking about you. We won't tell her what we said because, you know, she was late, so she'll have to guess. It was nice, really. So I'm using the Arrange a Wreath stamp set. This is the stamp set I used last week because I really just do like the fonts that are on the side. And I'm using the Merry Christmas one here. So that's that bit here. And I've got a little template for anyone who's going to be crafting along, so you can see where to cut and everything. And I've done it in centimeters. I'm really sorry to everybody in the States, but I will convert as we go along because I've got my grid paper on the inches side so that I can measure that out. But the really good thing for everybody in the UK is that this box is just half a sheet of A4. So when you've got your A4 cardstock, I'm going to cut it all and do it all with you. It is really quite, what's the word? It's quite handy when it uses half a sheet because it means you can get 2 of these boxes from 1 sheet of cardstock. So you just want to cut your A4 sheet of cardstock in half. So that's at 14.85 centimeters. If you're over in the States, that is 5 7/8 of an inch. Give or take a tiny little bit, but we'll work on that. Okay, so you could make 2 boxes out of 1 sheet of cardstock. Is it my eyes or are you fuzzy? Oh, I hope not. I'm looking on my iPad and it seems okay to me. But I know the other day it was doing that thing where every time I got close towards the camera, it focused on me and everything else went fuzzy, and then it took a few minutes to get back how it should have been. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Right, so with this one, oh, I'm a bit fuzzy for Colleen as well. Perhaps it might just be my eyes. It looks okay on my iPad, but maybe that's me. I have fuzzy eyes. So I actually score this using the bottom of my scoring tool. Actually, no, I'll use the top so you can see. But what you need to do is on the length side. So for anyone who's crafting along from America, who's doing it in inches, our cardstock is 21 centimeters, which is 8 1/4 inches. And I think is yours 8 1/2 inches in the States. So if you chop it down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it. So I'm going to score it at 1 centimeter. And for me, it's easier to do a centimetre on this side. So I'm just going to push it through and score it at 1 centimetre. Oh, you're 8 1/2, Colleen. So if you were crafting along, if you cut it down to 8 1/4 like us, and then you want to score it at 1 centimetre, which is 3/8 of an inch. And like I said, I've scored it at 1 centimetre. And then I find it easier then to go this way. So I'm very awkward. I don't like doing 1 centimetre there because I haven't got very much to rest it against. So if you're doing it, you want to score it at 1 centimetre and 6, but I just always do 1 centimetre that way and then turn it to get to the 6 because I'm weird. Okay, 6 centimetres. Okay, which is 2 3/8 of an inch. And then you want to score it at 11 centimetres, which is 4 5/16 of an inch. And then at 16 centimetres, you want each one basically to be 5 centimetres more. Okay, and at 16 centimetres, that's annoying, look at that. It's just over 6 1/4 inches. Okay, so then that should be 5 centimetres. And I'm going to chop a little bit off because I've noticed that my card was just a little bit big. They've given me more for my money than I asked for. Okay. So all of these strips should be 5 centimetres, and then you should have a strip at the end that is 1 centimetre, and that's on the horizontal way. Then you want to change it to go in the other direction, and guess what? I'm going to do it again with my centimetre. So I'm going to score my centimetre over on that side because I'm awkward, and then flip it. And now you want to do it at 6 centimetres. So again, you've got a 5 centimetre difference. And that is 2 3/8 of an inch. Then you want to score it. So where am I? That's 6, 8, 9. At 11 1/2 centimetres, which is 4 1/2 inches. And that's all the scoring you want to do. Just a load of burnishing now. So you should have little squares around. These ones are all 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres with the inches at the ends. And then you should have rectangles here that are 5 1/2 centimetres by 5 centimetres. And then this bit here is about 3 1/2 centimetres, just give or take. But it's whatever's left, basically. Hi, Aniki, I hope you're okay. So just go along and burnish all the score lines. Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you. I'm okay. Feels like a funny Sunday today because I actually I worked yesterday, so today it feels like a Saturday, but then at the same time I'm back in work Monday, Tuesday, and then I've got Wednesday onwards off, so at the same time it doesn't really feel like it's going to be Monday tomorrow either because I'm only in for 2 days. So my body clock's a bit all over the place at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to just leave that. Is anyone crafting along? Does anyone want me to repeat those? I'm going to pop this here, and it's got all of the measurements on in centimetres. So it will tell you exactly where we're cutting, where we're chopping, and where you're all measuring. Oh, how's your mum? 89. Gosh, what a good age. Bless her. Right, so what you want to do with these is I'm going to chop it as per this, but I'll talk you through it as we go. And I realised, by the way, that I would have been better doing my template in a different colour so that it stood out on the graph paper. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to pop it on top of the balmy blue. So hopefully you can see it, because I realised white on white was probably a very bad move. I work for a sport national governing body, so I work for a company called Bowls England, which is lawn bowls, and it's the governing body over here. It's very interesting because I am a bowler myself, so I quite like working for the governing body. Of course, this year I haven't been able to bowl at all, so lots more crafting. So you want to just leave this bit here, and you want to notch in so that it's a nice flap. And then we'll do the bottom first because that's easier. You want to cut the score line out of each one. So what I mean by that is you just want to cut either side of the score line and come in together, so it's just a really small notch out. Okay, and then you want to just do that on each of the crease lines. This for me is always a good project for craft fairs. I did have my name down to do a craft fair this year, but obviously we're back in lockdown, so it hasn't happened. But I find these are quite handy to have the template already made, have it all flat, pop all your decorations on it, and then all you have to do the night before your craft fair is pop them up into the little box and just stick a bit of decorations on, and they're done. So it doesn't really take up that much room. So with these bits here, you want to keep this full. So what you actually want to do is just pop a little notch in and a little notch in and cut all the way down. And you want your cut to be straight. You don't want to notch this bit at all. This here and this here, you want straight. Okay. That gives you these 3 rectangles here. Okay. This one and this one you want to cut at 2.5 centimeters, and this one you want gone completely. But what I find is easiest to do is pop it into your trimmer. Okay. Make sure this one is folded down so that you're not cutting that one, because you want all of that one. And you want to take this bit here to where the 2.5 centimeters is, which is 1 inch if you're over in the States. Okay. Lie it flat and just cut all of it. All 3 of them is easier to do. And then you can just chop this middle off. Oh! Joe, I rested that on the table by the side of me, and I obviously didn't rest it very well. Did you hear it? It's just across the floor. Oh, and I have brown carpet, which means it's going to take me ages to find where that runner from the middle has fell out. Because whenever I lose it, it's really tough to find. So yeah, you want this bit to come out. So if you cut it straight, and then notch into these two, because these ones you want to keep. You don't want to notch into it much, just a little bit. Okay. Bend that one down to keep it. And then just cut this one straight across. And then notch into this one just a tiny little bit as well. Okay, so it now matches my my template pretty spot on. I will take a picture of this template, and like I said, it has got the measurements written on it, and I'll pop it into the album over on Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout, which is over on my Facebook group. So if you're watching and you're not a member of my Facebook group, if you go over to Facebook and search Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout, there's a few of us on there, and I pop in an album every week with the projects we've made, so you can actually see then this, and it's got all the measurements on there, so it will help. Okay, so that's my box essentially. I'm going to do a little bit of the decorating before I put it together, because I find that easier. And by a little bit of the decorating, I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 panels and the top, and then I'll just do the front when it's all stuck together. Okay. So for that, you need your paper, just your DSP at this stage. So I've got mine, and while I love this paper because it's got the mix of colours, I'm actually going to use this end because that's the end that's got more of the blue in. Okay. So what I've done for this, just in case you're making any bigger boxes and you want to know how I pop my my DSP on. This, for instance, is 5 centimeters, and I want my DSP to go very close to the edge on this cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it at 4.8 centimeters. So it's only 0.2 of a centimeter less, which if you're in the States, that's a really small one. So that's a 1/16 of an inch, pretty much. So it's that's 5 centimeters, and that's 4.8. So it's teeny tiny. So I'm going to cut it lengthways. That was 5.5 centimeters. So I'm going to cut that at 5.3. So it's just that 0.2 of a centimeter each time. So I'm going to cut it at 5.3. And then at 4.8. And again, this one here at 4.8, because I want 3 of them. So 5.3, 4.8. So that's my 3 pieces. And then I've also popped it on the top flap, which is this bit here. And that's 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So I'm going to do that at 4.8 by 4.8. Be careful if you're using DSP that has a pattern that can only be one way, because if you've got sort of Christmas tree paper, you don't want to have Christmas trees that are upside down. This, however, can go in any direction, so makes it easier for me. This is the Snowflake Splenda Dsp, I think it's called. It's with the Snowflake Wishes suite in the mini catalogue. It's 12 by 12, and it's beautiful. It's all sort of watercolory snowflakes. It's ever so lovely. In fact, I'll grab some of the other designs and show you, because it is really very pretty. And I used that on the other, I used it on here as well. So it's got all of these designs in it. That one's nice. I never thought I could have used that one. That one's beautiful. I think that one's my favourite, actually. But yeah, it is really pretty DSP. And I should also mention that anything I'm using today, you can purchase from my website, which is www.slimandstylish.stampinup.net. And the link will be in the description bar below. And if you're watching before Tuesday, on Tuesday we have an online sales extravaganza. So we've got 10% off quite a few items. So have a look at my website on that day. Save yourself a bargain. No, not save yourself a bargain. Grab yourself a bargain. That's the word. Okay, so when you actually come to decorate this, that's my top piece, which will go onto that panel there. And actually, I'm going to line that up with that one because I feel that it goes quite well together. You want to pop the DSP on every panel except the one without a top notch. That bit there, just leave that one blank. Okay. This is actually another good project for using your scraps of your DSP up. Because you could put different DSP panels on each one. Yeah. Niki's asking if everyone's got their wish lists ready for Tuesday. I've got mine. I'm getting the new trimmer because I had the old trimmer and I like it, and I'm a creature of habit. If I like something and it's not broke, why fix it? Although after I've just thrown it on the floor, I've probably broken it. So when the new trimmer came out in July, I never got it, and I've heard great things about it. But I've continued using my old one, and I'm going to be running out of blades soon. So that's what I'm going to get, I think, for 10% off. There's a few items that's not included. I will include a full list of which ones are excluded, but the majority of items are going to be 10%. So yeah, good time to stock up. Yes, Jean, it is in the States as well. On Tuesday, it's called the Merry and Bright promotion, and if you've got a demonstrator friend over there, they will be able to help you. But if not, I've got some lovely friends over in the States who can help. So just let me know if you're looking for a demonstrator. Okay. There we are. So when you put it together, you'll have your back piece, your side and your side, and then this here, that's where your nice sentiment and your decoration goes. Okay, so it's just those 4 panels. Like I said, this is 4.8 centimeters by 5.3 centimeters, and this one 4.8 by 4.8. Okay, so I'm going to stick that together, and I'm going to be using my old fast fuse because it's handy. My seal's handy too, but it needs a refilling, so that's over my cupboard, so that's not as handy. So you want to fold it over and then fold this in. That's the best way I can find of lining them up, is to actually fold it, because then it's going to sit properly. And if you've done it with this bit where I told you to, the seal will be at the back, so no one will see it, and at the front you won't have any seal lines because it's there. Okay, for the base you want to pop both of those pieces in, and you want to stick down the back piece first, so that once again the join faces the back, so it looks a bit neater. So you're going to add some fuse to the bottom of this, or some Seal Plus, or whatever you've got, and stick that down. Try and keep the box straight so that you don't want it to stick in skew if. And then there. And then you can just, okay, so there is my box. And it fits in one Yankee candle. And this is why we were talking about you earlier, Karen, because I said that you'd sent me the Yankee candles. Oh, Karen's already got a basket full. So does Audrey. Yeah. It's one of those things when you've got a sale like that, it's great just to stock up on different pieces as well, isn't it? So Nikki, oh, you've got the new trimmer and it's great. Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I'm just a creature of habit because I like my old one. I've never had a problem with it. And like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it is my sort of thing. But yeah, I do think I should be getting a new one. And one of my friends said that it's a lot more stable on the desk, so I'm hoping that works better. So it's just decorating the front now. So I've got my glimmer paper. I've got a scrap of that from where I used it earlier, and I've got some Whisper White cardstock. I can't remember if I cut it to the right size, and I probably didn't because, well, you know, it's me. Oh, my little mini guillotine. Right, so this again, you want it at 4, because it's the 5 centimetre bit, and the full length, you want it at the same width. So you want it at 4.8 centimetres, which it pretty much is, so I might have cut it right. And then at 5.3 centimetres, so it's the same as the DSP we were using. So it will sit full on the front there. Okay, nice and glittery. And then, oh, I didn't cut the Whisper White right either. So you want to take that down 0.5 centimetre, which is about 1/4 inch. So I'm going to cut that down at 4.8 centimetres. And 4.3 centimetres. Get my maths right. And then that should just sit on there like that. And some smoky slate. I'm using smoky slate. I think it goes really nice with the paper. I think my memento on this one is just a bit harsh. It's a bit, you know, out there. So Merry Christmas. The font of this stamp is just, I think it's lovely. Now, because I'm a bit of a Scrooge and a penny pincher, instead of using this, which I can use on another project because it's still quite a nice big bit, I'm actually going to use, this is the punch that was in last year's celebration and has stayed and is in the annual catalogue. It's the Petal Punch. And I'm going to punch out of the cardstock. So what you need to do, line it up as to where you want it so you can see how much of a gap there is, and you can fit 2 flowers out of the middle. Okay, so there's 1 and 2, and then you can still stick that on top and no one will ever know, but it's a great way of using that piece of card in the middle, and it gets you 2 flowers that you wouldn't have had before. See? All about saving the little bits of glimmer, especially when we've got pretty paper. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pop some glue. This is where you've got to be careful. If you've done the trick that I've just done and you've got a hole now, you don't want to be putting the glue where the hole is, otherwise it's going to stick to your grid paper. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times. So keep the glue close to the edge and stick it down. Audrey says I must have Scottish blood in me. Possibly. I just like a good bargain. I don't like to see anything go to waste, and when it's hidden I feel it's wasted. So tell you what, Audrey, if you really want to laugh, I keep all of my card bases like this in a box, and I made Audrey a colour swatch of all the different colours that we do, and it was with that punch. And look, I just punched them out the middle of the card bases, and no one will know because I put the card fronts on. So whenever I use my card bases now, I'm reminded of those swaps because I've got bits missing. Right, my favourite ribbon again. If I can recommend one thing from the mini catalogue, and as a demonstrator I suppose I should recommend the most expensive, but I'm not going to. I'm going to recommend this trim. It is the metallic mesh ribbon, and it's with the Halloween section, and I keep using it on all of my Christmas cards because I just think it's like icicles, and it's amazing and it's pretty. So if I can recommend one thing to get in your stash, it's this, and it's a lovely width as well. It's definitely, I think it's been my most used item out of that catalogue. So I'm going to attach this to the box. So what I'm going to do is on this front panel where the pretty label will sit, I'm going to pop a couple of glue dots. It doesn't matter where they are, and this doesn't have to be neat or tidy because your front panel is going to cover it, but I'm just going to pop a couple in. Okay. And I'm going to stick the mesh down, run it all the way around. Bye Karen, hope you're okay. Thanks for joining. I'll speak to you later. Okay, and then just stick it down the other side. And like I said, it doesn't really have to be neat. It doesn't have to line up because I'm going to cover it. But it just means that I've now got this really nice shimmer all the way around the box. I can't sell this enough. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. And knowing what Stampin' Up are like, they normally do retire ribbons and embellishments at the end of the catalogue. So some stamps stay over, but normally ribbons kind of retire. So I'm going to be getting a few rolls of that so that I never run out, because I think it's lovely. Oh, I was going to stick that down with dimensionals, but I actually didn't on that one. I've stuck it flat. So up to you. Yeah, I'm going to stick it flat because I have got my flowers popping out, but really up to you. And pop the front on. Okay, so there's the majority of the box done. So it's just these little flowers now. And I use the centre of my piercing tool. If you've got a foam mat, great, use a foam mat. If not, just pop it in between your fingers and just put it around, just so you get it to just stand a little bit prouder than the other ones, so it actually looks like it's popping out. Now, I mean, it's up to you. If you think that's enough glitter and you don't want any more on, because I know some people aren't glittery people, You could punch these out of the DSP and you could have DSP flowers. If you've got the stamp set that matches the snowflakes, there's a lovely die with them, so you could stamp the snowflake and die cut it out and put it on. I just quite like the flower. And plus the fact I've got this glimmer paper, I'm going to use it. So these embellishments are the Elegant Faceted Gems that's with the Peony Suite. And I'm just going to pop one of the larger white dots in the middle of the flower. Stick it down. Stick it down. Back onto my trusty glue dots. Oh. And pop that one up there. And what's nice is now you've actually bent these leaves up, you can interlock them, you know, like that, so it's quite nice as two. Or you can split them, but they do interlock really nicely with the leaves. So I actually think I'm going to do that one for this one. I'm going to lock it back in. Stick it down, there we go. Yeah, I always like these sort of boxes at craft fairs. The Yankee candles are relatively inexpensive for those, and you can, because you can get them in such lovely colours, you can get boxes that obviously do the colours. I just had them in the orange and yellow. But yeah, I think they always go quite well at craft fairs, and they always look really lovely. And this metallic mesh, honestly, I love it. So there we go. Thank you everyone for joining me. I've already got next week's project already planned. That's proper advance. I've already made it, already photographed it, ready to put up next week. Normally at about midday, I'm thinking I better start thinking about what I'm going to do on my live. But this week I am in advance. So, oh yeah, they could be favours. Yeah, they'd do really good as little wedding favours, wouldn't they, and stuff like that on tables and things. Never thought of that, actually. That's quite a good idea. So there we go. Thanks for joining me. If you do make these, please do take a picture and pop it in Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout so we can all see what you've done. And I'll see you all next week. Have a lovely week, everybody. Bye. Oh, sorry, Jean's just said holiday favours. Oh, do you do holiday favours over in America? Because is that like a new thing? Or do we do it over here? So is that like on your dinner table? Audrey, Secret Santa. Yes, it could be a Secret Santa. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, these two, the lady across the road, she has two granddaughters that's been coming to come and visit her through lockdown, and of course we've all got to see them because they've been on the drive. So I thought 2 sparkly glittery candles, I think they might be for her grandchildren. So that's that. Oh gee, yeah, for her family, yes, she puts Christmas favour. That is a nice idea, actually. Little favours on the table. Thanks everybody, I will see you all next week. Oh, could I ask, if you have enjoyed, could you please give me a little thumbs up on your way out? That would be great. Thanks everybody. Bye.